It says here that someone, and this someone is the Antichrist, is going to make a firm covenant with the many. But in the middle of the week, he'll put a stop to sacrifice. And what we know from the book of 2 Thessalonians is that this person, and you can turn there if you want, 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, the first 12 verses, are all about this mysterious person. He's the man of lawlessness. He is the beast or the Antichrist. This one is going to come, and he's going to be a political superhero of our world. And if things were close, they're close now. Because our world is coming to a point where we're talking about the cessation of atomic bomb production. We're talking about the reduction of atomic stockpiles. We're talking about the disarmament of hostile nations in powder keg areas of the world. We're talking about a new world order. And that new world order is going to be headed by this man in chapter 2. And he is going to come, and he is going to be revealed, verse 3 says, and an apostasy, a global apostasy is going to come. And what apostasy is the total taking out of doctrine out of the church, and just have everybody go on emotions and feeling and love and signs and wonders. And the world is going to come to a point where they're going to say, doctrine divides. We don't want doctrine. We just want love. And when you have love and no doctrine, you have apostasy. Because God says, my love is based on the fact that all have fallen short of my glory and they must be redeemed. And they must be redeemed by God become human flesh, and that's Jesus Christ. And as soon as you take out doctrine, you lose Jesus Christ, you lose the redemption, you lose His sacrifice for sin, you lose His blood poured out, you lose any kind of distinction of what God's doing, and pretty soon you get into universalism where everybody's going to go to heaven. And that's where we are. And I don't know if you realize it, but you and I are very strange in this world. That you would be here on Sunday night looking at an old dusty book that nobody can agree on and is subject to everybody's interpretation, and you can cut and choose as you will. We are kind of strange in this world. You're getting stranger by the minute. But this man of lawlessness comes. He's the son of destruction, verse 3 says. He opposes and exalts himself above every so-called God or object of worship, so that he takes his seat in the temple of God, displaying himself as being God. And how the world's going to finally agree is, they're going to finally say, everybody disagrees on religion, let's have one world religion, let's worship you. Since you brought peace to the whole planet, let's worship you. And so the earth is going to go into a period of unprecedented peace. For 3.5 years, Ezekiel tells us in Ezekiel 38, that Israel is actually going to lay down their arms. Now that will be a day, won't it? That is the finest trained Air Force and one of the most successful armies in history. And they're going to lay down their arms. Ezekiel says that they're going to be in unwalled villages. That means they're not going to be protecting themselves. They're actually going to buy into this global peace thing. And in that instant, at the midpoint, Daniel says in Daniel 9:27 that this man, this satanic indwelt world leader, is going to exalt himself and display himself as being God. And he is going to unleash upon the world one of the greatest outflows of occultic, deceptive power. And as he does that, God's going to let the world unravel. And he's going to say, he wants to show the occult, I'll show the occult. And what happens in the tribulation hour is 3.5 years, the bottom side, or the slanted down right-hand side of that pyramid, the last 3.5 years are going to be the total unraveling of the world. And I've described many times, it's going to be a time when God lets loose all the hordes of satanic, demonic creatures, and they're going to come and inhabit this earth. They're going to come and just cause people to be so afraid they're going to die from fear of all the horror that's there. And the world's going to culminate in Revelation 16, which is the time of Armageddon.